This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back, everybody. And we've said this before, that we all have something that we need to heal from, or many things. And typically it goes back to our childhood, how we were raised. And I don't mean this in a negative way. It's just the normal stuff of being a kid. Maybe you got bullied. Maybe you thought you weren't good enough, and all those kind of things. But you walk your journey in life with those within you. And sometimes you got to clear those things out. One of those amazing ways to get that done is just by listening. And I know that sounds so simple. We do it all the time. You're doing it right now. But the power of sound can help you heal. We're going to talk about that today. So much to dig into. This is one of my favorite subjects, by the way. It really is. She is the owner of Infinite Healing and Wellness. She's the author of Mastering Self and harnesses the power of many modalities to help move our lives forward, one of them being sound. And she is Colleen Brindley. She's back on the program. How are you doing today?
Hi, wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I love these conversations, and we can dive deep and try to understand things, especially things we can't see. So I'm fascinated. Just the word healing always, what does that mean? Does it mean not being sick? Does it mean releasing the past, the power of now? So I love conversations where we can just explore, and, it doesn't matter to me if someone wholeheartedly agrees or not. It's about having those conversations, and the power of your voice actually is the first healing tool that I talk about. Somebody's voice, when it's clear, when it cares, when it loves, when they're in peace, can just push away all that negativity. So again, the power of sound in your voice. Somebody once said, your voice is your healing gift. And I thought, that's really unusual. Your voice is your gift, Steve.
Well, it makes me money, so I'm good with that. But your voice can help you heal. I want to stop the car, put the microscope on that. There is the Om, where you make this sound, and I know very little about it. I just know that the power of just doing this, and just go with me on this. I'm not the professional, but I've heard that sound coming from your body is in the zone of a certain frequency that can help you feel better, potentially help you heal, reduce anxiety, intention moments. Tell me about that.
I completely agree. I didn't really understand there's an Om tuning fork. I mean, I grabbed the heart tuning forks today, but you can hear it, but every part of you can hear this sound, this harmony, these frequencies. And so you're talking about the Om frequency, a very high frequency, which again can be interchanged with the word love, that love frequency, hope, peace, any of those interchangeable words. And so they just calm everything down, because any kind of pain or symptoms or replaying the past sometimes has a worry, a stress, a negativity. And again, that creates tension, blockages in the body. So these tools, like the power of Om, using sound, crystal bowls, tuning forks, actually just start to open things up and relax things. So I wanted to understand that a little more. And so I read a book, and it said we're about 70% or more, our body is water. And so I thought, well, that's interesting, because if you raise the vibration of water, it becomes this crystal, this beautiful crystalline picture. And so the same concept goes for our bodies. If we can speak loving thoughts, think loving thoughts, have loving actions, and use the power of these sound tools to relax the mind, it will start to affect positively our body, this dis-ease, tension, stress, disharmony in the body. So I was just fascinated and continued to explore. I worked in schools for a long time as a counselor, and we would do these things about plants, speak loving words to the plant, bully the plant. What happens? Which one grows faster? Same thing with rice. And, there was always some visual positive effect for that positive energy, those kind words, the uplifting hope. And I believe that's what, when we walk around in our everyday jobs, everyday lives, that same concept, if we de-stress, people feel it. They know it. They know, oh, I feel better just being around you, hearing your voice. So I think it goes back to this whole idea of creating harmony within ourselves, quieting things down so that when we project, it feels good. And that's what people crave and feel. And I read another book where 32 layers of energy. So the only boundary, only one has a boundary, the physical we can see. So we're more energy than not. So these sound tools, whether it's sounds in nature, birds, just the woodpecker, using sound tools, someone's voice, wow, we're more energy. So again, these tools actually are required. They're necessary to balance and create ease and peace throughout our whole body. So yes, some interesting things.
All right, I want to go back to some basics here because I can imagine somebody is watching or hearing this and thinking, Colleen and Steve are legit crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What the are they talking about? What is going on there?
Yeah.
I look at it this way. We've established that everything is a vibration. Everything has energy. That's scientifically proven, has been known for many, 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 many decades.
Right.
Now, let's talk about music. I don't think there's a human on the planet that will say, I don't like any music. I hate music. It's impossible. We all like what we like. What is music? It's a vibration.
Yeah.
How do we hear music? When somebody plays it live, or if you listen through a speaker, headphones, earbuds, whatever it might be, it's vibrating and that's producing sound. It's going into your ear. The little hairs in your ear are picking up the vibration and essentially sending the signal to your brain.
Right.
When you listen to music, what are you doing there? Either it's you want to feel happy, you want to feel pumped up, going to the gym, want to feel optimistic, want to feel nostalgic. I listen to songs from my childhood. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Some of us want to feel sad and down. There might be a reason. Maybe that's to release. But that's the same thing that we're talking about here is music. It's just the vibration. And the same thing with the tuning fork. That was music. By the way, I just want you to know, we can't hear that because Zoom only lets through the voice. So it filters out all the other stuff. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And to me, it was strange and odd, but when I related it to music, I thought, wow, there's something to that. And that's what I think with all of these tools and modalities, as we try things, as we explore, some things are going to feel better and some things just, I don't know. Maybe I like it, maybe I don't, and that's okay. To me, the important part was to know that there are these tools that exist. And so my daughter was in graduate school getting a PhD, and I'm pretty sure she had COVID before there was such a name for it, and so sick. And it wasn't flu, wasn't strep. And I had to fly out and say, what could I bring with me? What could I do? Because there isn't a medicine. There's nothing at this point. And I brought sound tools. I put them in my suitcase and said, okay, if sound can create mood, that's what she needs. She needs something to feel better. And so if we go as simple as I feel better, mom's voice, mom's touch. Now we have tuning forks, which are an extension of my hand. So it's still my vibration that is spreading that love and taking time to care and assist somebody. So again, I think everything still goes back to your personal vibration. And that's why sometimes the same person, different people can do different modalities and it doesn't feel the same. Could be a personal vibration or it's what you needed at that time. I believe sound goes where it's needed. So although
Ooh, all right, stop the car. Stop the car. Never heard that before, but I have heard that energy goes where it needs to go. For example, if somebody's doing Reiki on someone else, they're just sending energy out and the energy goes where it needs to go to heal, et cetera, et cetera. The sound thing, I never even thought about that. What do you, let's go deeper on that. Give me some thoughts there.
Well, the first thing somebody once said to me is, have you ever noticed how many birds are around hospitals? And I thought, what? Why? Well, they need to break up the energy around a hospital. There can be sadness and sickness, and that energy is around that space. So nature naturally puts sound where it's needed. And I thought, wow, that's so interesting. I'm going to need to observe that. And so same thing, people will come in and get a tuning fork session. Now, tuning forks are notes, and we know we have thousands of vortexes of energy creating our bodies. And the tuning fork notes are, those specific 7 chakras, vortexes of energy. And again, we go through them and people will say, oh, I can, when these chakras are closed, we often see certain behaviors. So for example, with a throat chakra, if that chakra is closed, someone's either speaking too much or not able to speak. So the imbalance goes either direction. They have a hard time peacefully communicating. So things are distorted. Same thing, heart. Too big means I'm giving, giving, giving. Too little, there's an imbalance. So again, what these tools do is create balance in these energy fields, which will then come out in behaviors. So again, if my head is constantly thinking, but thinking negative thoughts, wow, a crown chakra could penetrate and ease that negativity, that chatter, just quiet things down. So when it goes where it needs, sometimes there's a block and it could show up as a symptom in my knee. And I was working on the crown. But again, things are just getting stuck in these fields of energy. So again, they're like bullets. They're going to move through to where it's needed to go. And that's why, even when we're playing the radio, I feel like that right song comes on at the right time. Oh, I needed to hear that. Wow. Same concept. This whole idea of energy, things show up, I attract and repel what I may need or not need.
Have you ever done this before? And thank you for that validation of things I think many of us think about. Have you ever played the same song over and over, maybe even one session, play 4 times, day goes by, back on it again? I find myself doing it, and now I'm going to look at it deeper because there has to be a reason why the damn song is resonating. You're getting a message, or you need to get a message to feel better or process something. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, I think we intuitively know, find people, use tools that shift things positively or create comfort, protection. But what I'm trying to do is also try to not allow people to recreate some of those same thoughts and autopilot behaviors. So sometimes that song is trying to trigger change by creating peace, So sometimes I think hearing someone's story. So we had a great event here Saturday at our wellness center, and we did a simple tool of something you love about yourself, something that you want to share, you're proud of yourself, you moved through it. So but there were tears, there were release, people were speaking, expressing,
Mm.
again, the power of expression, things that, wow, I'm able to move through this, take care of myself. And something that started as a 5-minute icebreaker turned into this very therapeutic session, the power of release. But we release when we're feeling comfortable, when we're feeling safe. So that's also what sound can do. Another person's voice, their energy can allow people to open up and not hold on to shame and guilt and old stuff. So part of this healing process, moving through old emotions, experiences, letting go, can be facilitated through sound, through people, through comfort and safety and protection.
Mm. What's your suggestion if somebody wants to harness the power of healing that comes through sound? Let's say short of booking a session, a sound healing session. I don't know what you call them. There are sound baths and things like that. Short of that, what should we be doing? Should we be listening to music? How can we help ourselves?
Well, and I think we need a menu, right? Because a lot of times things that feel good, we just forget. And so, again, other people can just remind you, put on your favorite song, put that music on, move around, dance around. My goal is when people see the power, feel the power of a crystal bowl or a tuning fork or a Reiki session, I want them to learn it, to use it in their home and make this part of their lives. And so again, my bigger goal is that you have this wide menu of, maybe it's just I am beautiful in the mirror every day. The sound of your voice, the power of I am just shifts your whole being. So I'm looking for always simple things, words, sound, connection that can just move us through life on earth, the stress, the challenges, the obstacles, so we don't sink too low and can kind of rally and move through it. So there's power in coming together, communicating, sharing, but I really think these tools have to get into the home so you can use them with children and family and community. I think, we have to get these basic tools out there. And that's really what we model. We train, we want everybody. So I had a woman who comes in and I do half price sales. I want everybody to own a crystal bowl. And there was only one bowl left, sacral chakra. So sacral is all reproductive, sexuality. And so she always had PMS, all these symptoms. And she didn't want that bowl, but it was the only bowl left. And she said to me, I bought the bowl because it was half price. And every day I played it. It was there, played it. She came in, her PMS, her symptoms were very relieved. That chakra was very balanced. So if we can get people balancing themselves, they'll be less reactive. They'll be quieter, reflective, able to move through those past stress and traumas with more ease. So again, I think we need the menu. We need ideas, we need tools, we need them at home, we need to start using them in our lives.
What about lyrics of songs? And the reason I bring that up is we've talked before about the language we use, what we say verbally, what we think. It's the same thing. It's language. And if you're walking around saying negative things like, I'm not going to make money. This is going wrong again. What else is going to happen today? Those kinds of things, you're just setting yourself up for challenges. That being said, the songs we listen to must have an impact when it comes to the lyrics, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen pictures of water molecules when they'll play classical music versus other kinds of music, and they actually have a distorted look. So again, they are looking at these things scientifically, playing sound, looking at the impact. So words matter, lyrics matter.
Yeah.
And so again, My daughter once did a study on social media, and she, because again, there's a lot of information even about that, what you're listening, watching, and they found it's actually a mood enhancer. So you usually, based on your mood, are attracted to a certain series, lyrics, music, and it will just exaggerate that current mood. So sometimes, we have to kind of make a different choice and turn the dial to something more upbeat, happy, talking about love, and that will create the shift in us. So it absolutely matters. And that's why in a home, we really have to be careful of the words we use. You can be angry, sad, upset, but those words shoot out like rockets, like knives. And so, again, the words we use about yourself, the words you use about your loved ones, they matter. And it's not a joke. It's not something to take lightly, because you really can't take them back. It's out there.
So, challenge for you. What song has been resonating recently for you? Anything stand out? No judgment. If you listen to what I listen to, you'd be like, is he crazy? Because I'm going anywhere from classic rock, reggae, classical, heavy metal, and like I'm everywhere. It just depends on the mood. But there are some songs that in the last, I don't know, month or whatever, they're like I'm floating out there. It's like go-tos again. Let me listen to that again. Anything for you that's floating out there?
Well, mine is Bruno Mars, Just the Way You Are. Just the way you are. It's all about, you don't need to change anything. Be you. You're beautiful. And if I can get people to say, I am beautiful, that will just generate change, positivity, love in your life. I am beautiful. Oh, you say it. I mean, you look at somebody's eyes when they say something like that, they light up because that's the truth. You're perfect and beautiful. And again, you start with that, all those beautiful things will show up. So that's my go-to song. I'm cleaning, I'm cooking, just the way you are. And that's what I want everyone to know. And that's why we're here. That's why we have these conversations. And some of them, I have to admit, it's out of my comfort zone. There's things I can't believe. I'm very educated. I'm talking about this, but these are ancient tools, ancient concepts that we are just remembering about the beauty, about energy, about sound. But music is proof. Music is healing.
Thanks for that. And that's a perfect song. So many of us can't even look in the mirror and say, "You're beautiful. I love you."
Yeah.
Some people cry. They admit, I can't do it. And you're right. Everything we're talking about here has been tested for centuries. Literally, this is how people healed, through music. Why do you think in many cultures where that's what it's about? Standing around a fire, making sounds, music, just do the visual on that for centuries, because it makes a difference, because people feel better. We're not just making this up.
No. And there'll be more and more research to confirm it, but everyone's unique. So we say, try it, see, again, if you can relax your mind in whatever way that is, you're going to feel better. Your body will feel better. And again, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people to quiet their mind, get out of the chitter chatter, so that you can heal. I think, healing doesn't even always mean cure. It just means able to cope, able to deal with today.
Feeling better. Look at it that way.
Yeah.
But, because, and I appreciate you even saying that, because we like to think, I'm healed, I'm great, I'm fantastic. No, it's a journey. It's like, you got to walk the journey, and you're there to do that. How do we connect with you and your team, Colleen?
Yes, so I have a healing center in Middletown, New Jersey, but of course, many sessions are virtual, trainings can be virtual. But if you're looking for a trip, come visit us, Middletown, New Jersey. We have great detox services, crystal beds, saunas, a great place to come connect with like-minded people, great sales all the time, but more importantly, classes, places you can meet like-minded people, infinitehealingandhealth.com.
Thank you for today, as always. I love what you do and how you view things. And I know it's a little woo, but if you're looking for something, you found it. And you know what? Like that song that comes on the radio. If you're hearing and watching this, you found it for a reason. It just didn't show up. You were searching maybe certain keywords. There was a reason for it. Thank you, and we'll catch up soon, okay?
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.